Good Saturday morning and welcome to the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center. I'm Jason Liggett with you here on the Tigers Media Network as we get set for our tri-meet between the Danville Vikings, Bloomington Purple Raiders, and your Urbana Tigers. We'll get started with the first event, which is diving. Jackson Gilbert competing for Urbana High School and Elijah Lewis competing for Bloomington. And the divers will have two approaches here to begin with. That was Elijah Lewis right there from Bloomington with his second approach, or with his first approach, and now here's Jackson Gilbert with his second. And after our first couple of approaches, now we will get to the first dive from Jackson Gilbert of Urbana High School. And that's a 5 1/2, 5 1/2, and 5 for Jackson Gilbert's first dive. And Eli Lewis gets a 5 1/2, 5, and 4 1/2 on his first dive.
Dive number 202, back one somersault, tuck position, difficulty 1.5.
It's a 4, 3 1/2, and 4 for Jackson Gilbert's second dive. And now we'll go back to Eli Lewis from Bloomington for his next dive. A 6, 5 1/2, and 5 1/2 for Eli Lewis. And Jackson Gilbert from Urbana now approaching on his third dive.
Degree of difficulty 1.4. Scores
4 1/2, 4 1/2, 4 1/2. So 4 1/2s across the board there for Jackson Gilbert.
Eli's third dive, dive number 104, forward 2 somersault, tuck position, difficulty 2.2. Scores 4,
And that gets a 4, 3, and 2. The difficulty on that one over 2. So very difficult dive there from Eli Lewis.
inward 1 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6.
A 4 1/2, 4 1/2, 5 1/2 for Jackson Gilbert.
Fourth dive, dive number 301,
And now Eli is coming up for his fourth dive.
difficulty 1.6. Again, dive number 301, reverse dive, tuck position 1.6. Scores 4,
A 4, 4, and 3 1/2.
Jackson's fifth dive, dive number 302, reverse 1 somersault, tuck position, difficulty 1.6. Scores
5 1/2, 4 1/2, 5 for Jackson Gilbert's fifth dive.
Eli's fifth dive, dive number 401, inward dive, tuck position, difficulty 1.4.
5 and change that to a 5. So 5, 6, and 5. So that's Eli's best showing this morning. 5, 6, and 5. And now we go back to Jackson Gilbert for his 6th dive.
Dive number 103, forward 1.5 somersault. Tuck position, difficulty 1.6. Scores
5 1/2, 5, 4 1/2 for Jackson Gilbert. And now Eli Lewis from Bloomington will have his 6th and final dive.
Dive number 401. Sorry. Misread. Eli's final dive. Number 5121. Forward, 1 somersault, 1/2 twist. Forward position, 1.7. Free position. Scores
A 5, 5, and 4.
That concludes our diving.
So that will do it for diving. Some good effort there from Urbana's Jackson Gilbert and Bloomington's Elijah Lewis. So coming up next at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center and our tri-meet between the Urbana Tigers, Danville Vikings, and Bloomington Raiders, we have the 200-yard medley relay. The Tigers have 2 teams in this, as does Bloomington. Danville not entering a team in the 200 medley relay, but looking at Urbana in lane 2 will be Team B. That is Jonathan Sanchez-Juanco, Marcus de Los Angeles, Santiago Pania, and Isaac Sosnoff. In lane 3 for the Tigers will be Team A, and that's Willem Aline, Kian Bani Hasham, Patrick Sweeney, and Noah Barkley. Over in lane 5 for the Bloomington Purple Raiders, George Fish, Jonathan Novotny, Isaac Gonauer, and Austin Browning. That's Team A from Bloomington, and Team B for Bloomington is over in lane 6. It'll be Austin Aganovich, Gavin Nafziger, Jason Strange, and Eli Lewis. So once again, that's the 200-yard medley relay. And you might be able to hear some shouting and cheering in the background. That's the Urbana Tigers team getting warmed up and fired up for today's event. Event number 3 today will be the boys' 200-yard freestyle. The Tigers have 3 competitors in that, where Bloomington has 3 as well. We'll see Reza Bani Hasham, Santiago Pania, Patrick Sweeney from the Tigers in lane 1, 2, and 3. And then in lane 6, 7, and 8, for the Raiders is Colin Finley, Austin Aganovich, and Galvin Davis. 12 events total for today's tri-meet between Urbana, Danville, and Bloomington. We appreciate you tuning in and watching here on the Tigers Media Network, streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/UPTV6. Or maybe you're watching later. We'll re-air this next week on Urbana Public Television. That's the City of Urbana's public education and government access TV channel. You can watch UPTV locally on Comcast Xfinity Channel 6 and 1096, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and i3 Broadband Channel 6. If you're just tuning in so far this morning, we already had the diving event. Urbana had Jackson Gilbert competing against Bloomington's Eli Lewis. And they usually announce the totals and final score of that diving event here shortly. It's either before the second event or before the third event here. So hopefully that tradition remains the same, and we'll get those final scores out to you as soon as we know them. And we are awaiting the boys' 200-yard medley relay now. Urbana has two teams in Team A and Team B competing, where Bloomington has two teams as well in Team A and Team B competing. Danville doesn't have any swimmers for the next two events, but then coming up in Event 4, which is the boys' 200-yard individual medley, they'll have two competitors. Dominic Kelly in lane 4 and William Bruette in lane 5. That'll be event 4 this morning. And we're getting ready for the second event, which will be the 200-yard medley relay.
Coaches and captains, please report to the announcer stand area.
So, public address announcer asking for coaches and captains to report. So they'll go over some things there, and then we'll get started with the 200-yard medley relay. Once again, in lane 2 will be Urbana Team B. That's Jonathan Sanchez-Huanca, Marcus de Los Angeles, Santiago Pania, and Isaac Sosnoff. In lane 3 will be Urbana's Team A, Willem Aline, Kian Bonnie Hashem, Patrick Sweeney, and Noah Barkley. Over in lane 5 from Bloomington will be Team A, George Fish, Jonathan Novotny, Isaac Gornauer, and Austin Browning. And in lane 6 from Bloomington will be their Team B, Austin Aganovich, Gavin Nafziger, Jason Strange, and Eli Lewis. So that event will be next, and it'll be then followed by the boys' 200-yard freestyle in event number 3. Reza Bonnie Hashem, Santiago Pania, Patrick Sweeney competing in the boys' 200-yard freestyle in lanes 1, 2, and 3. And then over in lanes 6, 7, and 8 from Bloomington will be Colin Finley, Austin Aganovich, and Galvin Davis. Once again, that will be the event following our next event, the 200-yard medley relay. And we haven't had any scores announced yet for the diving event, which was event number 1 on this Saturday morning here at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center. Urbana's Jackson Gilbert competed with Bloomington's Eli Lewis. If those scores are announced, we'll be sure to relay that to you as well. Jason Liggett with you on the Tigers Media Network. We're thankful that we can provide this service to you, as very, very limited fans here and people here in the building at the Indoor Aquatic Center. But we are able to bring you the performances of these student athletes streaming live on our YouTube channel and later on traditional cable television. And looking ahead at the Urbana swimming and diving teams next meet will be this coming Tuesday, February 16th at 4:30. We'll carry that one for you as well. That's against Peoria, Notre Dame, and Danville is back over for that one. Once again, it's this coming Tuesday at 4:30. And then a week from today, next Saturday at 11 a.m., with Manual, Peoria, and Danville all here. So those are the next 2 events coming up for swimming. And the timers have been placed behind the blocks here. And now we have the student athletes reporting here.
Event 2, boys 200-yard medley relay.
As we get set here for the boys 200-yard medley relay. So each competitor will go down and back once, and then the next member of their team will jump in here. 4 members total on each team. As the athletes get in the water, looking closely at the lane closest to us, that's Team B for Urbana. In lane 2, it's Jonathan Sanchez-Honka swimming right now. Marcus de Los Angeles, Santiago Pania, and Isaac Sosnoff. In lane 3 will be Urbana's Team A, Willem Aline, Kian Bonnie Hashem, Patrick Sweeney, and Noah Barkley. In lane 5 from Bloomington, their Team A and George Fish, Jonathan Novotny, Isaac Gonauer, and Austin Browning. And Team B from Bloomington over in lane 6, Austin Aganovich, Gavin Nafziger, Jason Strange, and Eli Lewis. And we see both Urbana's Team A and Bloomington's Team A in lane 3 and 5 respectively have sent their second swimmer now. Bloomington's Jonathan Novotny reaching first and headed back, and in lane 3 for the Tigers, that's Kian Bonnie Hashem on his way back. So Bloomington Team A in the lead here as we reach our halfway point, and the third swimmer's getting ready to jump in. For Bloomington, that's Isaac Gonauer jumping in, and for the Tigers, Patrick Sweeney in lane 3. Coming back over in lane 6 is Bloomington Team B. It's Gavin Nafziger. Coming out and jumping in is Jason Strange. And bringing up the rear is Urbana's Team B in lane 2, Marcos de Los Angeles, and he tags in Santiago Pania. And Bloomington is getting ready to send their fourth and final swimmer here in lane 5. And that'll be Austin Browning over in 5. They have the lead. Coming in second place right now will be Urbana's Team A in lane 3, and that's Noah Barkley swimming for the Tigers over in lane 3. And Bloomington's Team A getting ready to finish here. We'll have a total for them, as we see Urbana's Team B jumping in lane 2 for their fourth and final swimmer. Urbana's Team A finishes, and in third place will be Bloomington's Team B over in lane 6. And then in lane 2, closest to us, the Tigers finishing their Team B. So they don't have Bloomington's Team A time listed yet, but the Tigers Team A clocked in at 2 minutes, 5.61 seconds. Bloomington's Team B clocks in at 2 minutes, 14.66 seconds. And Urbana's Team B clocks in at 229.66 for the Tigers. So that'll wrap up our 200-yard medley relay. Once again, Urbana's Team A at 2:05.61. And Team A from the Tigers was Willem Aline, Kian Bonnie Hashem, Patrick Sweeney, and Noah Barkley. And then comes Bloomington's Team B at 2 minutes, 14.66 seconds. And Bloomington's Team B swimming out of lane 6 was Austin Aganovich, Gavin Knopfziger, Jason Strange, and Eli Lewis. And then Urbana's Team B swimming out of lane 2 clocks in at 2 minutes, 29.66 seconds. And that was the team of Jonathan Sanchez-Huanca, Marcus de Los Angeles, Santiago Pania, and Isaac Sosnoff. Coming up next, we will have the boys 200-yard freestyle. That's event number 3 today out of 12 total events, followed by the 200-yard individual medley. Competing next in the freestyle for the Tigers, Reza Bani Hashim, Santiago Pania, Patrick Sweeney. And for the Raiders, Colin Finley, Austin Aganovich, and Galvin Davis. So they'll go down and back 4 times here for the 200-yard freestyle. In lane 1, closest to us, it's Reza Bani Hashim for the Tigers. And getting the best jump for the Tigers right there is over in lane 2, Santiago Pania. In lane 3 is Patrick Sweeney. Reaching the wall first on the opposite side is over in lane 8 for the Raiders. That's Galvin Davis. He is followed in lane 6, Colin Finley, and then Austin Aganovich in 3rd place right now, and he's about neck and neck with the Tigers' Patrick Sweeney in lane 3. Sweeney might be about a half body length ahead here, but once again, as they complete 75 of the 200 meters, over in lane 8 is Galvin Davis in 1st. And in 2nd, in lane 6, that's Colin Finley from Bloomington. In 3rd is from Urbana, Patrick Sweeney in lane 3. In 4th, over in lane 5 lane 7 from Bloomington is Austin Aganovich. And just behind Austin, over in lane 2, is Santiago Pania from the Tigers. And touching the wall right closest to us now, underneath us, was Reza Bani Hashim from Urbana. And a couple of Bloomington swimmers on their way. Final trip down and coming back. Leading the way is Galvin Davis over in lane 8. He's followed closely by Colin Finley in lane 6. We then have the Tigers' Santiago Pania in lane 2 and Patrick Sweeney in lane 3. So Bloomington has the first 2 finishers here. We'll get their final times. Finishing first is Galvin Davis at a time of 2 minutes, 13.30 seconds. Finishing second is Colin Finley over in lane 6 at a time of 2 minutes, 17.72 seconds. Finishing third by less than a second is Austin Aganovich at a time of 2 minutes, 32.81 seconds. Finishing fourth, Santiago Pania for the Tigers at 2 minutes, 33.13 seconds. Finishing fifth, Patrick Sweeney from Urbana, 2 minutes, 40.25 seconds. And finishing sixth is Reza Bani Hashim from the Tigers at 2 minutes, 54.09 seconds. So that wraps up the 200-yard freestyle. Bloomington's swimmers placing first, second, and third, and Urbana's placing fourth, fifth, and sixth. And first place goes to Galvin Davis at 2 minutes, 13.30 seconds. Coming up next, we will have the 200-yard individual medley. Competing for the Tigers will be Marcus de Los Angeles in lane 1. In lane 2 is Kenyan Bani Hashim. Willa Moline in lane 3 for the Tigers. And then the Danville Vikings have 2 competitors in this event, Dominic Kelly in lane 4 and William Bruette in lane 5. As we look over to lane 6 and 7, occupied by Bloomington's Jason Strange in 6 and Gavin Nafziger in 7.
Event 4, boys 200 yards IN.
So swimmers take to the blocks here for the 200-yard individual medley. In 1 for the Tigers is Marcos de Los Angeles. Kian Bani Hashem in lane 2. Willa Moline in lane 3. As we look over to lane 4 is Dominic Kelly from Danville. In lane 5 is William Bruette from Danville. Jason Strange over in lane 6 from Bloomington. And Gavin Nafziger from Bloomington in lane 7. Reaching the wall first and going back down is William Bruette from Danville. Bruette finds himself in first right now. He is followed by lane 6's Jason Strange from Bloomington. And then Willa Moline from the Tigers right after them. And Moline starting to push on the gas here. And he's just a hair ahead. So Willa Moline in lane 3 in first right now. He's followed closely over in lane 5 by William Bruette of the Vikings. And then they are followed in lane 5. Excuse me, that's lane 6 by Jason Strange of Bloomington. Those are your top 3 right now in the 200-yard individual medley. Danville's William Bruette has the lead. He's followed by Urbana's Willa Moline. And then Bloomington's Jason Strange over in lane 6. In 4th place right now is Kian Bani Hashem from the Tigers. He's in lane 2. He's followed by lane 7. That's Gavin Nafziger from Bloomington. And finishing first over in lane 5 will be William Bruette from the Vikings. In 2nd place will be Willa Moline from Urbana. In 3rd place will be Jason Strange of the Raiders. And times for them. William Bruette once again finishes first at a time of 2 minutes, 22.36 seconds. Finishing second is Willa Moline from Urbana at 2 minutes, 28.88 seconds. Finishing third is Jason Strange from Bloomington at 2 minutes, 29.71 seconds. Finishing fourth is Kian Bani Hashem from the Tigers at 2 minutes, 46.13 seconds. Finishing fifth is Gavin Nafziger from Bloomington at 2:46.65. And finishing sixth is Dominic Kelly from Danville at 2:51.51. So that will wrap up the 200-yard individual medley. Coming up next will be the 50-yard freestyle. And all three schools have some competitors in this event. Urbana sends 4. In lane 1 will be Armando Rodriguez. Max Quan Allred over in lane 2. Isaac Sosnoff in lane 3. And Sam Birdsley in lane 4. In lane 5 from the Danville Vikings will be Alexander Faulkner. Lane 6 is Jonathan Novotny from Bloomington. Jack Oakey in lane 7 from Bloomington. And Eli Lewis over in lane 8 as we get set for the 50-yard freestyle here at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center on the Tigers Media Network. Jason Liggett with you on this Saturday morning. We appreciate you tuning in and supporting these student athletes today.
Event 5, boys 50-yard freestyle.
And with the 50-yard freestyle, let's down and back once. It'll be a quick one here.
In lane 1 from Urbana, Armando. In lane 2 from
And fairly even right now.
In lane 3 from
I think first place right now is over in lane 6, which is Jack Oakey from Bloomington. We'll see if he can hang on and see how everyone finishes. Oakey still in first, but he just by a hair here, and he does finish first. So, excuse me, that will be Novotny. That was lane 6, excuse me. So Jonathan Novotny finishes first at 24.21. In second will be Faulkner at 24.51. In lane 3 is Jack Oakey at 26.36. In lane 4 is Sam Birdsley from Urbana at 27.26. Finishing 5th is Isaac Sosnoff at 27.73. Finishing 6th, Max Quan Allred at 28.08. Finishing 7th, Eli Lewis from Bloomington at 29.75. And finishing 8th is Rodriguez from the Tigers at 35.75. So that wraps up the 50-yard freestyle, and the pool will be open now. Once again, Jonathan Novotny from Bloomington finishing first at 24.21. In second place from Danville, Alexander Faulkner. And that is the 50-yard freestyle. Jack Oakey from Bloomington finishing third. So we'll have a break here for open swim, and then when we come back, it will be the 100-yard butterfly. Competing in that one for the Tigers will be Santiago Pania and Patrick Sweeney. For Bloomington, Jason Strange and Jack Oakey. That's coming up next here at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center on the Tigers Media Network. And they have closed the pool here at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center, and that means we are getting ready to start event number 6 here at this tri-mate between Urbana, Danville, and Bloomington. Coming up next is the 100-yard butterfly. Competing for the Tigers will be Santiago Pena in lane 2 and Patrick Sweeney in lane 3. Competing for the Raiders over in lane 6 is Jason Strange and Jack Oakey in lane 7. That is the 100-yard butterfly coming up next. That event will be followed by the 100-yard freestyle. Armando Rodriguez competing in that one for Urbana, as is Jonathan Sanchez Honka and Sam Birdsley. So swimmers have been asked to report to behind the block here for the 100-yard butterfly.
Event 6, boys 100-yard butterfly.
4 competitors in this event. Pena and Sweeney in lanes 2 and 3 for the Tigers. Strange and Oakey in lanes 6 and 7 for the Raiders.
In lane 2 from Urbana, Santiago. In lane 3 from Urbana, Patrick. In lane 6 from Bloomington, Jason. In lane 7 from Bloomington, Jack.
And it looks like Jason Strange over in lane 6 from Bloomington has the early lead here. He is followed by Jack Oakey from Bloomington in lane 7. Then comes Urbana's Patrick Sweeney in lane 3, and he is followed closely by Santiago Pena in lane 2. Increasing his lead now over in lane 6 is Jason Strange. Strange followed by Jack Oakey in the far lane. Lane 7 in this event. And then the 2 Urbana competitors in lane 3 and 2. That's Patrick Sweeney and Santiago Pena. Getting ready to finish now is Jason Strange. So Strange will finish first. He is followed by Jack Oakey. And then we see in lanes 2 and 3, it's a close one down to the finish here. In lane 2 is Santiago Pena. In lane 3, Patrick Sweeney. And it looks like Pena is just a hair ahead here. We'll see how they finish. And looks like Pena will finish first. So in first place, Jason Strange at a time of 1 minute, 4.11 seconds. In second place is Jack Oakey, a time of 1 minute, 9.35 seconds. In third place is Santiago Pena with a time of 1 minute, 27.14 seconds. And in fourth place, Patrick Sweeney, a time of 1 minute, 28.32 seconds. So that wraps up the 100-yard butterfly. And now we're going to move on to the 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1 for the Tigers will be Armando Rodriguez. In lane 2, Jonathan Sanchez Huanca. Sam Birdsley from Urbana in lane 3. And then we go over to lane 6. It's George Fish from Bloomington. Colin Finley from Bloomington in lane 7. And lane 8 occupied by Parker Elbert from the Raiders.
Event 7, boys 100-yard freestyle.
So getting ready to start the 100-yard freestyle here as swimmers take the block.
In lane 1 from Urbana, Armando.
With the early lead is George Fish over in lane 6. He is followed by Colin Finley. And then coming in third right now is Sam Birdsley from the Tigers.
8 from Bloomington, Parker.
In fourth place right now is Parker Elbert over in lane 8. And then in fifth is lane 2. That's Urbana's Jonathan Sanchez Hranca. And then lane 1, Armando Rodriguez. And coming back for his final trip now, over in lane 6 is George Fish. So George Fish will finish first, and he will have a pretty good time here. And finishing second will be over in lane 7. That's Colin Finley from Bloomington. Finishing third will be Sam Birdsley. We see him finish just now in lane 3. And then finishing fourth over in lane 8 will be Parker Elbert. We'll get to these times now. George Fish with a time of 51.75 seconds finishes first. Finishing second is Colin Finley at 58.62. Finishing third is Urbana's Sam Birdsley at 102.26. Finishing fourth is Parker Elbert at 108.75. Finishing fifth is Hranca Sanchez at a time of 117.30. So George Fish from Bloomington gets first place in the 100-yard freestyle at a time of 51.75 seconds. He's followed by teammate Colin Finley at 58.62. And then Urbana's Sam Birdsley placing third at 102.26. So that will be it for the 100-yard freestyle as we look ahead to event number 8. That's the boys 500-yard freestyle. Competing in the 500-yard freestyle for the Tigers in lane 2 is Max Quan Allred. Noah Barkley will be in lane 3. Over in lane 4, Alexander Faulkner from Danville Vikings. Isaac Gonauer in lane 6 from Bloomington. And then in lane 7 is Galvin Davis and his teammate from Bloomington, Austin Browning, in lane 8. That's the 500-yard freestyle. Coming up next here at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center.
There should only be one person behind the lane for the 500. Event 8 boys 500-yard freestyle.
And you'll see at the end of the lane now some teammates with numbers. They keep track of where their swimmers are at. So I don't see Noah Barkley competing in this one. So Max Quan Allred representing the Tigers in lane 2. Over in lane 4 is Alexander Faulkner from Danville. In lane 6, Isaac Gonauer from Bloomington. Galvin Davis in lane 7, and then Austin Browning in lane 8. In first right now, you'll see in lane 4 is Danville's Alexander Faulkner. He is followed very closely by Bloomington's Isaac Gonauer in lane 6. And then over in lane 8 is Austin Browning, followed by Galvin Davis in lane 7, and Max Quan Allred from Urbana in lane 2. Alexander Faulkner extends his lead now. He's about 2 body lengths ahead of Bloomington's Isaac Gonauer. And swimming just about even now over in lane 8 is Austin Browning. And just behind him is Galvin Davis in lane 7. Continuing to increase that lead is Danville's Alexander Faulkner. Faulkner is followed by Isaac Gonauer in lane 6. Then we have over in lane 8, Austin Browning in 4th right now, in 3rd, excuse me, and then in 4th over in lane 7 is Galvin Davis. Urbana's Maxquan Allred competing in lane 2. That's the lane closest to us. This is the 500-yard freestyle. This will be followed up by the 200-yard freestyle relay. The Tigers have 2 teams in that, as do Bloomington. So Alexander Faulkner extending his lead to probably about 20 meters ahead now. And the closest one to him is in lane 6, Isaac Gonauer from Bloomington. Then we have Bloomington's Austin Browning, followed by Bloomington's Galvin Davis. And in 5th place right now will be Maxquan Allred in lane 2 from the Tigers. And I mentioned that the 200-yard freestyle relay is next. Competing in Team A for the Tigers, which will be in lane 3, is Patrick Sweeney, Sam Birdsley, Maxquan Allred, and Noah Barkley. Competing in lane 5, which will be Team A for Bloomington, will be George Fish, Colin Finley, Jack Oakey, and Isaac Gonauer. And continuing to increase his lead as the event goes on is Alexander Faulkner. Faulkner about 35 meters ahead of the closest competition, and that happens to be Isaac Gonauer in lane 6. He is followed in 3rd place by Austin Browning in lane 8 from Bloomington, and also from Bloomington in lane 7 is Galvin Davis. And this will be the last trip back here for Danville's Alexander Faulkner. So Faulkner going to finish a full 45 meters ahead or so of anyone else. And we'll get Faulkner's time here for the Vikings. And once again, in 2nd place will be Bloomington's Isaac Gonauer. He's getting ready to come back for his final approach here, if you will. And Alexander Faulkner finishes first with a time of 5 minutes, 14.77 seconds. So congratulations to Danville's Alexander Faulkner, finishing first at 5:14.77. And now finishing in lane 6, we see is Isaac Gonauer from Bloomington. He finishes at 5 minutes, 48.10 seconds. And then finishing in third over in lane 8, also from Bloomington, is Austin Browning. And finishing just now in lane 7 from Bloomington is Galvin Davis. So we'll run down these times here. At 5 minutes, 14.77 seconds is Danville's Alexander Faulkner in first place. In second place is Isaac Gonauer from Bloomington at a time of 5 minutes, 48.10 seconds. In third place from Bloomington is Austin Browning, a time of 6 minutes, 1.37 seconds. He's followed by Galvin Davis in fourth place at 6 minutes, 10.11 seconds. And we are seeing right underneath us now is Maxquan Allred finishing up for the Urbana Tigers. So we will have Max's time here in just a moment, and it is 6 minutes, 50.50 seconds. So definitely a test of endurance there for that 500-yard freestyle. That will wrap up that one, and the 200-yard freestyle relay is next. As I alluded to earlier, both the Tigers and the Raiders have two teams in this event. Team A for the Tigers competing in lane 3 will be Patrick Sweeney, Sam Birdsley, Max Quan Allred, and Noah Barkley. Team B for the Tigers will be competing in lane 2. That'll be Marcus de Los Angeles, Jackson Gilbert, Reza Bani Hashim, and Santiago Pena. Over in lane 5 for Bloomington Raiders will be Team A. That's George Fish, Colin Finley, Jack Oakey, and Isaac Gonauer. And then Team B for Bloomington over in lane 6. That's Gavin Knapsinger, Parker Elbert, Eli Lewis, and Austin Oganovich. And with the 200-yard freestyle coming up, each competitor will go down and back once, and then their teammate will jump in. That'll be event 9 of 12 here today at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center. Coming up after the 200-yard freestyle relay will be the boys' 100-yard backstroke. One heat and all lanes filled on that one. In lane 1 for the 100-yard backstroke will be Jonathan Sanchez-Huanca, Reza Bani Hashim, Willem Aline, Dominic Kelly over in lane 4 for Danville, Austin Browning in 6, Parker Elbert in 7, and Jonathan Novotny in lane 8. But now we are set for the 200-yard freestyle relay. And swimmers take their blocks here. Tiger fans will be paying attention to lane 2 and lane 3. And Raiders fans paying attention to lane 5 and lane 6.
In lane 2 from Urbana, Marcus, Reza, Jackson, and Armando. In lane 3 from Urbana, Patrick, Max, Sam, and Isaac. In lane 5 from Bloomington.
So right now over in lane 5 is Bloomington's Team A. That's George Fish getting ready to finish up, and Colin Finley will jump in now. In second right now over in lane 6 will be Bloomington's Team B. Gavin Knapsinger just finished up, and now Parker Elbert is in the pool. Then we have Urbana's Team B in lane 2. That's Jackson Gilbert swimming right now. And he is followed by Urbana's Team A in lane 3, Sam Birdsley competing right now for the Tigers in lane 3. And in first place right now, we just saw jump in with Jack Oakey from Bloomington. That's their Team A over in lane 5. And they are moving. And they're getting ready to send their last swimmer here, just as the other ones reach the wall of their third swimmer. So jumping in there is Isaac Gonauer in lane 5. So they will finish first handily, and then it's a three-way race here for second place. Right now in second is Bloomington's Team B. That's Austin Oganovich just jumped in. And he's followed in lane 3 by Urbana's Noah Barkley, and then Urbana's Santiago Pena in lane 2. So Bloomington Team A finishes at a time of 1 minute, 39.47 seconds. Coming in second place is Bloomington's Team B at a time of 1 minute, 56.30 seconds. And then Urbana's Team A in third place at 1:57.52. Urbana's Team B in fourth place at 2 minutes, 8.07 seconds. So Bloomington's Team A finishing in 1:39.47. Once again, Bloomington's Team A consisting of George Fish, Colin Finley, Jack Oakey, and Isaac Gonauer. Finishing second at 156.30 is Bloomington's Team B, which consisted of Gavin Nafziger, Parker Elbert, Eli Lewis, and Austin Oganovich. So that will wrap up the 200-yard freestyle relay. Open pool right now for 5 minutes, and then when we come back, we'll have the boys' 100-yard backstroke. Competing in the backstroke will be Jonathan Sanchez-Huanca, Reza Bani Hashem, Willem Aline, all from Urbana, Dominic Kelly from the Danville Vikings, Austin Browning, Parker Elbert, and Jonathan Novotny from the Bloomington Purple Raiders. So the boys' 100-yard backstroke coming up next on the Tigers Media Network. And the pool is once again closed here at the Indoor Aquatic Center, which means we are getting ready for event number 10, the 100-yard backstroke, as swimmers have been asked to report behind the blocks. In lane 1 will be Jonathan Sanchez-Huanca from Urbana. Over in lane 2, Reza Bani Hashem from the Tigers, and Willem Aline in lane 3. Over in lane 4, Dominic Kelly from the Danville Vikings. Austin Browning in lane 6. In lane 7 will be Parker Elbert from Bloomington, and then Jonathan Novotny in lane 8. Once again, this is the boys' 100-yard backstroke we're getting ready for. That'll be followed by the 100-yard breaststroke. And then the 12th and final event for today, the 400-yard freestyle relay.
Event 10, boys 100-yard backstroke.
And swimmers enter the pool. Yard backstroke, so down and back twice.
In lane 1, from Urbana, Jonathan.
And in an early lead right now is Willem Aline from the Tigers in lane 3. He seems to be followed in lane 6. That's Austin Browning. In third place right now, over in lane 4, is Dominic Kelly from the Tigers. Making a run at it now over in lane 8 is Jonathan Novotny. Willem Aline remains in first. He's in lane 3. He's followed over in lane 6 by Austin Browning. And then in lane 8, Jonathan Novotny. Those are your top 3 in the 100-yard backstroke. And we're getting ready to finish here. Willem Aline from the Tigers finishes first in lane 3. Finishing second in lane 8 is Jonathan Novotny. Finishing third in lane 6 is Austin Browning. Set to finish fourth in lane 4 will be Dominic Kelly from the Vikings. Finishing in lane 7 will be Parker Elbert. And then followed by 2 Tigers and Reza Bani Hashim, finishing right now in lane 2, and Jonathan Sanchez Ranca. So times for those. In first place, it's Willem Aline of the Tigers, 1 minute, 3.45 seconds. Second place is Jonathan Novotny, 1 minute, 6.08 seconds. Third place, Austin Browning, 1 minute, 7.08 seconds. And fourth is Dominic Kelly from Danville at 1 minute, 17.93 seconds. In fifth place is Reza Bani Hashim from the Tigers at 1 minute, 48.85 seconds, followed closely by the sixth place finisher at 1 minute, 48.96 seconds. That's Jonathan Sanchez Ranca. And then in seventh, there'll be Parker Elbert at 1:57.86. So that wraps up the 100-yard backstroke. Once again, in first is Willem Aline from the Tigers at 1:03.45. Event 11 is next, which is the 100-yard breaststroke. Isaac Sosnoff from the Tigers competing in lane 1. In lane 2 will be Kian Bani Hashim. Marcus de Los Angeles in lane 3, and then the Danville Vikings' Willem Bruette in lane 4. In lane 6 will be Isaac Gonauer and Gavin Nafziger in lane 7, and then George Fish in lane 8.
Event 11, boys 100-yard breaststroke. In lane 1, from Urbana, Isaac. In lane 2,
They're all fairly even right now. If we have to give it to anyone, it's probably lane 4's William Bruette from Danville. He is followed closely by over in lane 6, Isaac Gonauer. Looks like Gonauer reaches that wall second, and in fact in first place now is George Fish over in lane 8. So it goes George Fish, Isaac Gonauer, Willem Bruette. Bruette is evened up there by lane 7 from Bloomington, Gavin Nafziger. In lane 3 is Marcos de Los Angeles leading the way for the Tigers. He's followed by Kian Bani Hashim in lane 2 and Isaac Sosnoff in lane 1. It'll be a fight to the finish here. Leading the way is George Fish. George Fish is over in lane 8. He has the lead right now. Following him closely is Isaac Gonauer in lane 6. And then lane 4 is Danville's William Brunette. That is the top 3 here, and it looks like George Fish will finish first. And now finishing second is Isaac Gonauer. Finishing third is Danville's William Bruette. And times for those. George Fish finishing first at 1 minute, 11.31 seconds. Finishing second is Isaac Gonauer at 1 minute, 13.52 seconds. William Bruette from Danville in third at 1 minute, 15.52 seconds. And fourth is De Los Angeles from the Tigers at 1 minute, 23.55 seconds. Followed closely by teammate Kian Bani Hashim in fifth place at 1:24.38. And then in sixth from Bloomington is Gavin Nafziger at 1 minute, 24.95 seconds. And seventh from the Tigers, Isaac Sosnoff at 1:28.37. And that is the 100-yard breaststroke for this afternoon. Finishing first was Bloomington's George Fish at 1:11.31. Our next and final event of the afternoon will be the 400-yard freestyle relay. The Tigers will have 2 teams in lane 2 and 3. Danville with 1 team in lane 4. And then Bloomington with 2 teams in lane 6 and 7. Competing for the Tigers Team A, which will be in lane 3, is Noah Barkley, Sam Birdsley, Kian Bani Hashim, and Willem Aline. The Tigers Team B will be competing in the lane closest to us, lane 2, Jackson Gilbert, Jonathan Sanchez-Huanca, Max Quan Allred, and Isaac Sosnoff. Danville over in lane 4 will be Alexander Faulkner, William Bruette, and Dominic Kelly. Bloomington's Team A will be in lane 6, Colin Finley, Austin Browning, Jonathan Novotny, and Jack Oakey. And then in lane 7 is Bloomington's Team B. It's Jason Strange, Austin Aganovich, Parker Elbert, and Galvin Davis. And we are underway now for the 400-yard freestyle. So it looks like leading the way is Danville's Alex Faulkner right now. He is followed by Bloomington, and that's Colin Finley over. He's followed by Bloomington's Team B. So that's Jason Strange there in lane 7, and then Colin Finley right now in lane 6 for Bloomington's Team A. The Tigers Team A in lane 3, that's Noah Barkley getting ready to finish up, and jumping in will be Sam Birdsley. And then for the Tigers in lane 2, that's Jackson Gilbert finishing up, and getting ready to jump in will be Jonathan Sanchez-Huanca. We look over in lane 4 right now. That's William Bruette for the Danville Vikings. Now they only have 3 swimmers. After Bruette will be Dominic Kelly. And he is followed closely by Bloomington. Team A in lane 6, that's Austin Browning. And then Team B in lane 7, that's Austin Aganovich right now. So William Bruette falls behind right here. So now Bloomington's Team A in the lead. They're over in lane 6. Jumping in is Jonathan Novotny. And then we have Danville in lane 4. That's Dominic Kelly swimming right now. And they are followed in third place right now is Bloomington's Team B. Parker Elbert swimming right now, and then it's Urbana, their Team A over in lane 3. It's Kian Bonnie Hashem swimming right now and getting ready to jump in for the Tiger. In lane 2 is their Team B. So in the middle of the 400-yard freestyle relay here. Jumping in for their final swimmer is Team A from Bloomington. That's Jack Oakley. And in second place right now over in lane 7 is Team B from the Raiders. And jumping in right now for them is Galvin Davis. And then after that, we have Urbana's Team A in lane 3. And Willem Aline is in the pool now. And then Urbana's Team B is in lane 2. And already finished because they just had 3 swimmers is Danville, which was over in lane 4. Good showing by all 3 of those Danville swimmers, though, today. Not just this event, but all the events that they competed in. And getting ready to finish here is Bloomington's Team A, which will finish first. And that team consists of Colin Finley, Austin Browning, Jonathan Novotny, and Jack Oakey in lane 6. And looks like they'll be followed up by Urbana's Team A and then Bloomington's Team B. So looking at the times here, and first is Bloomington's Team A at a time of 3 minutes, 55.29 seconds. In second place, Tigers Team A, 4 minutes, 10.61 seconds. In third place is Bloomington's Team B at 4 minutes, 26.36 seconds. And then finishing fourth here will be Urbana Tigers Team B. Danville just had 3 swimmers, so they're not necessarily placing here with just the 3 swimmers. So Bloomington's Team A in this event was Colin Finley, Austin Browning, Jonathan Novotny, and Jack Oakey. Once again, they take first place at 3:55.29. Then in second place is Urbana's Team A. And Team A for the Tigers consisted of Jackson Gilbert. Team A for the Tigers consisted of Noah Barkley, Sam Birdsley, Kian Bonnie Hashem, and Willem Aline. They finished with a time of 4 minutes, 10.61 seconds. Urbana's Team B finishes up with a time of 4 minutes, 56.98 seconds, good for fourth place in this event. So that will wrap up the tri-meet here between the Danville Vikings, the Bloomington Purple Raiders, and your Urbana Tigers. We'll be back with you on Tuesday for a 4:30 meet, and then we'll also be back with you next Saturday, 11 a.m. meet right here at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center as we continue to bring you coverage of the Urbana boys swimming and diving team during the COVID-19 pandemic. A limited attendees able to be here in person at the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center, so we're happy to provide this service to you, and even happier that you're able to enjoy it and take advantage of it. So that will wrap things up. We'll see you next time on the Tigers Media Network.